I recently purchased an e-bike that I was going to use to replace my old standard bike. Unfortunately, when I got it, I didn't realize how heavy the e-bikes were. This one's pushing 70 pounds when I'm all done. Due to age, that I'm in my 60s, and the fact that I've had a hip surgery and back surgeries, my ability to lift this onto a bike carrier are gone. Fortunately, this bike has 20-inch tires and it folds up. So I developed a system to where I can fold this bike and put it into the back of my car without having to lift it. Now that the unit is in the back of the car, we have to take a couple of additional safety measures. Right now it's on wheels and it's aligned front to back, which means that in the event of a collision or stopping hard, this thing could fly forward into the driver or passenger. So the next thing I'm going to do is turn it sideways. Now that it's sideways, it can't roll front to back. Now originally I had to put my back seat down to get this in. Now that it's in and turned sideways, I'm going to lift the back seat up so now the cargo area is separated from the passenger areas. It also wouldn't be a bad idea to tether this back there with some sort of rope in addition to everything. When you get to your final destination, everything that you had to load this on has to be what you have to load it off. So I bought a ramp with a bend in it. This one's for pets. It probably holds about 150 pounds. It folds easy and then can be easily stored in the back seat. The next thing I want to mention is the ramp itself, and this can be an area of safety too. And that's the fact that this ramp can slip front to back or side to side. It came with a strap that you can kind of strap, but I didn't feel it was an appropriate application for what I'm doing. So what I did was I built my own unit, and what I did was I took an eye bolt and I cut a notch out of it, and this notch will fit inside of the truck latch. Once it's in there, I took a wing nut, tightened it down, and this is going nowhere, so you don't have to worry about it slipping around while you're moving the unit in or out. This is a video of my bike on top of the sled. A couple of things I wanted to notice here is the fact that to the front of it I took a large piece of Velcro and put it around the sled and the bike. And on the back side I also put a couple of pieces of Velcro to hold the tire in. Those two things will keep this thing from sliding any direction while you're loading it into the vehicle. Another thing I wanted to mention is the derailleur. This may be hard to see, but when you put the bike on the sled, the derailleur will be down, which means it can come in contact. Now I have this on a piece of foam so that it does not push the derailleur out of the way. If your derailleur gets pushed out of the way, it can knock the mechanism out and it will not line up properly when you shift. So make sure that you are not in any way pushing on that derailleur. This is the unit itself. It's nothing more than a child's snow sled. screwed to a piano dolly that I purchased at Harbor Freight. One of the things to mention is that the one that came from Harbor Freight came with swivel casters. Swivel casters are not good because they can swing anywhere, and as you push this, it can slide left to right. You want this thing to only go into the back of your car and out. So I replaced all of those with inline casters so that they can't go anywhere. Now the hard sides of the sled are too much impact for the bike itself. So what I did was I took a piece of 3-inch foam that I purchased from our local Lowe's, but you can get anywhere, Joann's or whatever. And then I custom cut it to the right size and put it inside of the sled, which was very easy to do. I then covered it with visqueen and then taped it all together. When I put the bike in, I noticed that one part of the pedal was hitting too hard, so I built this little bump out, and that's just something custom for my bike. So now it sits completely on this without sitting on the sled itself. In conclusion, I just wanted to mention that you can get on YouTube and see other videos where people have done different things. In fact, there's one where someone folds this up and puts it into a plastic cargo container and then slides it up into the back. I would have done that if it would have worked for me. Unfortunately, when my bike is vertical, it will not fit into the back of my car, so I had to turn it sideways. So because of that is the reason I chose the wheels. The unit I built, by the time I was done, was $120 in parts, and it took me several hours to build. If you can get yours to fold up and get into a cargo container and slip up a ramp similar to the one I showed earlier, I would recommend that. If you're stuck like I am and have no other way to do it, then this is an alternative you may consider.